There seem to have been even more video suggestions in the comments than usual on this channel recently, and as always, I'm doing my best to keep an eye on them, and particularly those that receive a large number of likes. Larry Havery's suggestion of the best nationality for every position is one such case, so today I've decided to take up Larry's suggestion for your viewing pleasure. The idea is to take a look at which nation has the most strength and depth in each position, from goalkeeper to centre forward, and I'll give some honourable mentions for nations that just missed out along the way. Here are my views on the best nationality for every position. Goalkeeper Germany. There are a few nations who are blessed between the sticks right now, such as Brazil with Alisson, Ederson and Neto, and Italy with Gianluigi Donnarumma, Alex Meret, Salvatore Sirigu, and of course Gianluigi Buffon, who has now retired from international football. It is also worth mentioning Slovenia, a nation of just 2 million people, ranked 60th by FIFA's world rankings, who have two of the finest keepers in the world with Jan Oblak and Same Handanovic. Ultimately though, at the top of the tree, we cannot overlook Germany. As with Slovenia and Brazil, Germany have two of the finest goalkeepers in world football when it comes to Manuel Neuer and Marc-Andre ter Stegen, in addition to some very capable backups like Bernd Leno, Timo Horn, Kevin Trapp, Oliver Baumann, and potentially their future number one, Alexander-Arnold. That's 7, yes 7, very talented goalkeepers, with 2 who are undeniably world class, and for that reason, Germany get us started in this 11. Right back. England. There was around a 5-year spell following the end of Gary Neville's international career in which right back was a problem position for England. Glenn Johnson won a remarkable 54 caps of the three lines, with the likes of Wes Brown, Martin Kelly and Micah Richards all being handed opportunities as well. Over the last few years though, England have experienced a full 180 with a real explosion of talent on the right side of fullback. Kyle Walker was the first to break through, but despite being Man City's first choice right back, he is now finding opportunities hard to come by in the right back position for England. Gareth Southgate can call upon the very talented Trent Alexander-Arnold, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Kieran Trippier, Max Aarons, Reece James, and even the likes of Nathaniel Klein and James Tavernier. That is remarkable depth in such a specific position as right back, where you can only accommodate one player, and Southgate played Kyle Walker as a centre-back at the 2018 World Cup in order to make room for Kieran Trippier as well. England aren't alone in having real star power at right back. An honourable mention must go to Portugal, who can boast the likes of Nelson Semedo, João Cancelo, Ricardo Pereira, Andre Almeida, Cedric and Diego Dalot as well. Centre-back. France. I'm going to disappoint Larry, whose only suggestion along with his video idea was that I pick Italy at centre-back, and historically that would be the case. Incidentally, I noticed further down on that comment thread the idea that this could be an all-time video as well, so if this video does very well and the demand is there, I'd be more than happy to make a follow-up all-time version. Anyhow, in terms of the here and now, no nation can touch France in terms of their incredible talent pool at centre-back. The Netherlands perhaps deserve an honourable mention, with the likes of Virgil van Dijk, Matthijs de Ligt, Stefan de Vrij, Daley Blind and Nathan Ake all at their disposal, but France can go a couple of notches better than that. All you really need to say with regards to France's options at centre-back is that Aymeric Laporte still hasn't won a cap for Les Bleus, despite being one of the finest central defenders in the world, but I'll reel off some names nonetheless. France have Raphael Varane, Samuel Umtiti, Benjamin Pavard, Lucas Hernandez, Laurent Koscielny, Kurt Zouma, Jeremy Mathieu, Presnel Kimpembe, Clement Lenglet, Willy Boly, Issa Diop, and of course Aymeric Laporte for choice at centre-back. I mean, that's an entire starting 11 of quality centre-backs right there. Varane and Umtiti were France's World Cup winning pairing, and they appear to be Didier Deschamps' first choice duo. Meanwhile, Benjamin Pavard and Lucas Hernandez are capable of covering in the fullback positions as well. Left back. Brazil. It's a very easy choice at left back, where Brazil have long had and continue to have a plethora of very talented players. Marcelo may no longer be at the peak of his powers, but he has been the outstanding left-back of the last 5 years at least, and is unsurprisingly the most capped of Brazil's current left-back options, with 58 caps to his name. Felipe Louise is the next most selected at international level, the veteran fullback, having won 44 caps, and after those two there is a whole raft of talent, some of whom remain uncapped. Alexandro, Alex Telles, Jorge, Wendell, Ismaili, Douglas Santos, and Renan Lodi would all start games in the vast majority of national teams, but getting a game for Brazil has proved to be a struggle. Defensive midfield. Brazil. I'm sticking with the Seleção when it comes to defensive midfield, and with good reason too. Brazil has long been famous for the samba stars it creates in forward areas, but right now, three of the strongest positions in manager Tite's squad are in goal, at left back, and in holding midfield. In terms of holding midfielders, Brazil have the likes of Casemiro, Fernandinho, Fabinho, Lucas Leiva, Luis Gustavo, Fernando, Sousa, Thiago Mendes, and Rafael Carioca. Take Lyon's deep line playmaker Thiago Mendes as just one example. I suspect there is no other national team where a player of his calibre in a holding midfield role could go uncapped until the age of 28. Casemiro, Fernandinho and Fabinho could fairly be described as Brazil's famed three in the position right now, but even Fabinho has only won 12 caps for the South Americans at the age of 26. Eric Dyer, by comparison, who is younger than Fabinho, has already won 40 caps for England. Central midfield. Spain. At any stage over the last 10 or more years, the answer to who has the best midfield in world football has been Spain. The era of Xavi, Iniesta, Fabregas and David Silva may be over, but Spain still have a central midfield blessed with incredible talent and depth. I would be here all week if I tried to list every talented Spanish central midfielder, but the likes of Thiago Alcantara, Sergio Roberto, Koke, Sol, Ander Herrera, Fabian Ruiz, Asaya Ilarramendi, Dani Parejo, Santi Cazorla and Luis Alberto are perhaps 10 of the most notable examples. Parejo is a great example of Spain's quality in central midfield, having been outstanding for Valencia since around 2013 to 2014, yet he has only 4 caps to his name. Honourable mentions must go to Croatia, whose second golden generation has more strength in central midfield than in any other position, as well as Italy, who have some exceptionally gifted young midfielders in particular. Croatia's central midfield options include obviously Luka Modric and Ivan Rakitic, along with Mateo Kovacic, Marcelo Brozovic and Mario Palisic. Meanwhile, Italy have talents such as Jorginho, Marco Verratti, Lorenzo Pellegrini, Nicola Barella, Sandro Tonali and Stefano Sensi, all jostling for a starting berth in the middle of the park. I haven't distinguished between central and attacking midfield for the purposes of this 11, but if I were to make a separate attacking midfield position, Spain would take that one as well. Right wing. France. France have the most talent and the most depth of any national team on earth right now, and they take a second position in this 11 on the right wing. No one comes particularly close to France's plethora of options on the right flank, with stars such as Kylian Mbappe, Ousmane Dembele, Kingsley Coman and Florian Thauvin all in contention. Didier Deschamps' job is made a little easier by the frequency with which Ousmane Dembele and Kingsley Coman are sidelined through injury, but in the case of all four being fully fit and firing on all cylinders, one wouldn't envy the World Cup winning player and manager in terms of his selection dilemma. Left wing. Brazil. Brazil are second only to France in terms of overall talent pool within the international game right now, and the Seleção feature more frequently in this 11 than any other nation, taking 3 positions in total. The last of the 3 comes on the left wing, where Brazil have an embarrassment of riches. Neymar is of course Brazil's outstanding player, not just on the left flank but in general, but waiting in the wings, Tite has the likes of Douglas Costa, Felipe Anderson, Everton and Tyson. I can think of few national teams where a player as talented as Tyson at the age of 32 could only have won 8 caps at international level, and he may wish he'd followed in the footsteps of many fellow Shakhtar stars by accepting a call-up from Ukraine instead. France are worthy of another honourable mention on the left flank, with Ousmane Dembele, equally capable on the left or right flanks, as well as Thomas Lemar, Anthony Martial and Dimitri Payet. And then there's Franck Ribéry, who's obviously retired from international football, but is nonetheless still French. Centre forward. Argentina. Argentina have long had a fantastic forward line, a somewhat mediocre midfield, and a car crash defence. That is pretty much still the case at Argentina, and my choice ahead of France at centre forward. France, it should be said, have excellent attacking options in the forms of Antoine Griezmann, Kylian Mbappe, Karim Benzema, Olivier Giroud, Alexander Lacazette, Anthony Martial, and Wissam Ben Yedder. Meanwhile, Poland have a few gems in relation to their size, with the likes of Arkadiusz Milik, Krzysztof Piątek, and of course Robert Lewandowski. Neither nation can compete with Argentina's wealth of striking options though, which starts with Lionel Messi, who is joined by the likes of Sergio Aguero, Paulo Dybala, Gonzalo Higuain, Mauro Icardi and Lautaro Martinez, to name only the key players. Fortunately for Argentina, the likes of Messi and Dybala can be moved around, allowing them to play a few of the aforementioned star men, but it speaks volumes that Mauro Icardi still only has 8 caps for La Albiceleste. And yes, before any of you point out in the comments, I know that some of those players are no longer in international contention, but they are nonetheless still from those nations, such as Karim Benzema for France or Gonzalo Higuain for Argentina. So that is it for my nationality 11, and I suppose we'd best have a manager for good measure. The likes of Argentina, Germany, Portugal and Spain lead the way on the managerial front right now, but I'd say Italy perhaps just pips the lot of them to top spot. Italy can list the likes of Antonio Conte, Massimiliano Allegri, Roberto Mancini, Carlo Ancelotti, Gianpiero Raimondi and Gianpiero Gasparini among their most esteemed current head coaches, so they edge the battle of the bosses in my book. That is it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you're staying alert, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and feel free to subscribe to the 22nd best football channel on YouTube, the one and only HITC Sevens.